Welcome to DJ TV.
Court don free Nnamdi Kanu to go see the doctors wey im like unto im health conditions.
Correct people, we greet una, welcome una to this our channel DJ TV, where ogbonge tori and update dey happen o. My people, if una never subscribe to our YouTube channel, make una no waste time again o, make una rush now, make una go subscribe o, and also turn on that notification bell so that anytime wey we drop any update like this, una go dey notified gbagam. And our Facebook page, make una follow us and make una like. My people, make we quickly run enter the tori and updates wey we carry come for una this time around. Make una watch.
Yes, so my people, court don grant Nnamdi Kanu access to see medical doctor wey im like based on im health condition o. Na Federal High Court don order Department of State Service (DSS) to allow Nnamdi Kanu to see doctor wey im like, but dem still order say make DSS make sure say dem record the meeting with the doctors o unto security reasons. Nnamdi Kanu lawyer dem don come out come talk concerning this new development. My people, make I leave una now, make una watch this video and hear wetin Nnamdi Kanu lawyers dem talk concerning this whole matter. Make una watch.
Today, as usual, in all cases I handle, God was again on the throne to do what he knows how best to do, enthrone justice and fair play to ensure that his creatures and creation do his bidding. It is in Lamentations 3:37. Who is he that speaketh, and it cometh to pass, if God has not commanded it? Today, this court, the Honorable Justice Bintanyaku, granted all the reliefs sought for by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu before the court. The young Nigerian patriot, Igbo self-determination czar, who was extraordinarily, illegally, unconstitutionally, torturously, brutally renditioned from Kenya back to Nigeria on the 27th of June 2021. Today, the court agreed with us that the reliefs we asked for must be granted, and the judge granted. What were these reliefs? That Nnamdi Kanu be allowed access to medical doctors of his own choice, as earlier also ruled by this honorable court since October 2021, but which ruling was continuously, serially, and contumaciously breached by the SSS. Today, the court ruled that he was entitled to have access to his medical practitioners of his own choice, and that these medical practitioners should be present whenever any examination or procedure is to be done on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu outside the facilities of the SSS, and that such examination or procedure should be recorded. She made that order. She also made the order that all his medical records should be made available to him. Because in any event, it is the right of a patient to have access to and see his medical records so that he can always have a review and update on these medical records. She couldn't see why such a simple demand should be denied him. The SSS had filed a preliminary objection that this action was similar to the one earlier filed before this court and also before the court in Umuahia, Federal High Court. The court held that that was not true, that the parties may be similar, but that the course of action was certainly different. Because in that action, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had sought for the enforcement of his fundamental human rights, which were granted by the Federal High Court in Umuahia, sitting in Umuahia. And guess what? The court had imposed a fine, damages of 500 million naira against the federal government of Nigeria, which, as I speak to you, has never been paid. I may begin to take steps to enforce that judgment. Since the olive branch we have held out in the last 2 years has not been responded to. But that, on the other hand, the case before this court today was for an order of mandamus to compel a public agency, which is the DSS, to carry out its duty, which it has refused to carry out as laid down by law, after we wrote them letters, 2 letters, in October and November 2022, urging them to carry out what the court has today granted. They refused. So the court held that the 2 suits were different, one from the other, and that the earlier judgment before the Federal High Court, Umuahia Judicial Division, is not the same as the judgment she delivered today. So the court granted all our reliefs. Nnamdi Kanu should now have access to his medical records, which so far have become a voodoo, which so far have become a mirage, which so far have become like an apparition, like a ghost, which so far have become like a subject matter of witches and wizards operating in a coven, not being seen by the patient himself, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, by his parents, by his family members, by we, his lawyers. We will now have access to these medical records. We want to know, what is it that the SSS has been hiding?
Hey my people, not be small thing o, how na business so matter. Anyway, make una drop una comment o, and make una no forget to like and share. Una do well. See you in our next video. DJ